Hello fellow humans! Today I'm going to be showing you my March 2021 setup for my bullet journal. First, let me say I am so sorry that I have not uploaded a video in a couple of weeks. I've just had some life stuff going on and YouTube was kind of in the back of my mind for a little bit there, but life is getting back to normal, and with that I'm so excited to start uploading regularly again. So for this month, I'm doing something that I have been playing with in the back of my mind for months now, and that is an apothecary theme. I love the whole vibe of old medicinal practices and apothecaries and drugstores, and I wanted to do some different, just very aesthetic, and yes, I'm gonna say it, witchy elements. So I decided that an old apothecary or herbalist shop is what I wanted to go for this month. For these pages, you're going to notice I've made some changes to how I'm going to set up this month, so we'll see if I like it. On this first page, I'm leaning hard into the herbalist aspect of my theme. So I've got some dried herbs hanging, could not tell you what they are, but I do also have a candle burning here. We have a mortar and pestle and a big jar of some dried white sage. If I at any point draw herbs that do not actually exist in the real world, please just ignore it. I am most likely inventing some plants here. Like I mentioned, one of the changes that I'm doing this month is doing just a one-page calendar. I found that I don't use the monthly calendar as much as I used to, so I've downgraded it to make room for some other different spreads that I wanted to include this month. Another note for you guys: if you see the camera shaking like it is right there, I got a new desk and the mount for my camera doesn't attach to it as well as I would like, so I am going to work on that. Just bear with me. So moving on to these next pages, this is where I do my paycheck planning to make sure that I'm staying in budget and that I'm covering all my expenses that I need to. This is one of the pages that keeps me sane month to month, so I always make sure I include it. For this page, we're moving more from the herbalist aesthetic into the apothecary side of things. So I have all of these little bottles with stoppers, and they're all going to be filled with different liquids and extracts and tonics and tinctures. When I was looking at inspiration pictures on Pinterest, the little bottles all sitting on their little shelves were some of my favorites, so I definitely wanted to include some of those on a page. And some of the bottles got labeled, others I just did a scrawl so you can kind of assume it's something related to medicine. Next is the other set of pages that keeps me sane month to month, and that is my checking tracker. I log every single thing that comes into and goes out of my checking account every month. It is the only way I don't overspend. I live on a pretty tight budget, so this really, really helps me. Highly recommend to anybody who's struggling not to overspend. And for this page, I decided to just do some more hanging herbs and kind of keep them out of the way so that I would have most of the page free for tracking things. And then I threw in a little candlestick that had just been blown out. The night that I was filming this, I did want to do everything all at once, but then as I was finishing up this page and flipping to the next set, 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒄 decided to come in and have a little lay right where I was working, and when he really wants to be pet, there's not a whole lot you can do to deter him. So I gave up, I gave him some pets, and we went ahead and saved the rest for the next day. So a new day, relit my candle, and we are starting on my first couple of weekly spread pages. And if you have seen either of my other monthly setups that I have posted so far, you will notice that I don't really do weekly setups. I don't really track my activities throughout the week. It typically stays the same. But since I have started doing YouTube as a hobby, I have found that there are some days where I really just need to plan around things to make sure that I get videos filmed or edited or uploaded at appropriate times so that they can go up on Thursday, which is when I like to publish videos. So I decided I would sacrifice a couple of my regular pages that I don't use all too often, like morsels, and instead make some really simple, really compact weekly spreads. So these two pages actually cover the first 2 weeks of the month. I don't need a lot of room per day, so I wanted to just kind of cram it all in there into a smaller space so I don't end up using more pages for it when I really don't need them. And for these pages, I went with some bookshelves with some different books, a candlestick, some vials and jars, and in the foreground, a little oil lamp. And for the next 2 weeks of the month, I did the same thing, 1 page per week. And for these pages, I focused again on the herb side of things. So we have some herbs being ground, we have some bundles of tied herbs, and some more hanging herbs as well. And apologies for pulling my notebook so close to me and out of frame a little bit in these last couple of pages. I think I was just focusing and didn't even realize that I had moved it so much. You'll notice that on all of my pages for this month, I also decided to do layers of paper. Some of these are from the Archer and Olive notepad with the tear out pages, so it fits right in your book. Some of them are from AliExpress. There was even one that I used that was from a pack I got at Walmart. Don't underestimate local stores because you can find good stuff. But I really just wanted to add some more texture and some more vintagey vibes, and I'm always a fan of using papers to do that. And now moving on to my last couple of pages. These pages are my video planning page and my habit tracker page. For these, I focused again on the apothecary side of things, more of the medicinal side. So we have some little wooden drawers. These drawers are so precious. Anytime people have these in their offices or in their homes or craft areas, I just think they're so aesthetic and cute, and so I definitely wanted to include these. They took a while to get colored in, and because I had been sitting here for so long, again, Yuri decided to join me, so just ignore him. I decided it was easier to pet him and continue drawing at the same time than it was to try to remove him and have him just come back. For my habits, I was so excited to use my new calendar stamp that I got from Etsy, and I have the link for that listed in the description. But I love the font of the numbers. A lot of calendar stamps I don't love the fonts of, so I've never gotten one, but I went ahead and grabbed this one when I found it, and I love it. I need to work on the spacing a little bit because they're a little bit wider than I figured they would be, so I didn't space them quite as well as I would have liked. And then we put a little chemistry setup, again leaning into the apothecary side of things. And filled it with some red liquid with my Archer and Olive acrylograph. As you know, I love Archer and Olive. I sing their praises all the time for all of their products that I have ever tried. If you ever want to try out anything from Archer and Olive, I do have my 10% off discount code for you, 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒏10, and my link listed in the description. And of course, that is an affiliate link, so I do make a small commission when you make a purchase. Alright, now that we have finished the pages, let's go back and do a quick flip through. As you can see, I did actually backtrack and add some shading to the titles. That's pretty much all I changed, but I think it adds a lot and doesn't make it quite so flat. I'm honestly so excited to use these pages. I keep looking back at them and just thinking about all the things that I will use them for this month, and I cannot wait to get started. And when I'm posting this, it is already pretty much March, so at least I do not have long to wait. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe, pet a cat, eat something yummy, read a book, sing a song, and I will see you all next week.